stars in a ring. Man, I go hard like Santan.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Touchline Fracas, joined with some familiar, regular panel members and some guys who've suddenly appeared from the woodworks for God knows what reason. But let me introduce them and it'll maybe make sense to you guys why certain panel members are on this week. Disu, definitely in my mind, fall into the old, reliable group of panel members. How are you doing, brother?
Before we get on to that, can I ask you a question, Morayo, brother?
You can ask me whatever you like, bro.
See our good friend DJ Sherms. Was that his previous background? On
Yes,
all
yes, it was.
Okay.
You
You are lucky. You are a lucky boy. You are a lucky boy. Oh,
we discussed this just before you got on, and I went to check a previous pod, and I can confirm.
I was about to go check. I was taking his word.
It's a day, my brother.
So he's
you know what? That's mad because that was my background before.
Yeah. Shems, how you doing, brother?
I'm very well, my brother. You know,
you've been here, rain, sleet, snow, shine. We've seen a lot of this season.
I've been all right. I've been doing well this season.
You've been local. I'm going to introduce this person. You may or may not remember who he is, guys, but obviously one of the founders of the pod, long-standing Chelsea fan, Meeds. How are you, brother? How was it going? To what do we owe the pleasure?
Like I said, listen, Mrs. She's on a call. I thought, we've got a young 20 minutes, young 30, 20 minutes. I thought, let me bless the streets. I've just got a couple of things I need to get off. I've got a few things I need to get off.
You know you too hard to be shocked.
You know what? Do you know what it is? I'll be real. I have a few things that I need to let off, and I was going to let off on the count. But I thought, let me just, you know what? The pod's on. Let me mess it. It's not the studio today, so
let
me jump on.
Yeah, everything came together.
To be fair, Mead was in studio like the other day. Even though that was also deliberate because he was launching against the gaffer.
There's always a back story to it.
See the Chelsea founding fathers, yeah?
Yeah.
They are the most shrewd political operators. They're wasting their talents in football. Wasting their talents in football.
Agreed. They should be going man.
Mead single-handedly got, and I'm not even joking. I am sure I could prove this. Dan Soffen Mead single-handedly got Jorginho a Ballon d'Or podium. I am telling you. I am telling you, bro.
We watched it in real time, bro. We watched that season. They started with Kante. France dropped out of the Euros quarters and very quickly pivoted. Very quickly. Kante's knocked out of the Euros. Do you know who also is a Ballon d'Or candidate? Jorginho. Amazing stuff. Before we get to the
I got tears in my eyes. They generally disgust me, the pair of them.
I've said this and I always maintain it. The Chelsea Hour media
machine.
The media machine. We were discussing it on last week's pod meets. We said the run of tweets on the main account from September to December was very similar to the tweets on the Chelsea Hour account.
I didn't even need GPT to tell me that. I didn't even need GPT to tell me that, bro.
It's so familiar about the two accounts. For that,
you know what's so peak? You know what's so peak? Yeah, there's some times I master tweets as well. They're like, is that the shit?
All right, cool. Before we start, the usual plug the socials. Touchline Fracas on Twitter, Chelsea Hour on Twitter. That's important as well because the propaganda is about to go through the roof. PLF_Morgar, Touchline Gunners, Coppen Fracas, New Spurs Order. We're also on YouTube, Touchline Media Group, Instagram, Touchline Media Group. Busy weekend, sandwiched in between the European semi-finals. So let's try and go around the houses very quickly this evening, lads. Let's start with the big game. Champions Liverpool against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Did you guys have to do a guard of honor?
Yeah, we did, man. Yeah.
How was that? As previous,
you know what?
It was nasty because they done it for us. So we done it for them. Yeah. We done it for us 10 years ago, yeah. That's what
The thing is, we've done it a couple of times now. I think we're the one team that's given the most guard of honors in the Premier League. This is crazy. So we've done it a couple of times. So to be honest, it felt a bit nasty, but at the same time, I think Liverpool were worthy winners. So I'm trying not to take too much pain out of it, because I felt, in the first game that we played against them at Anfield, I thought, okay, these guys didn't have to do too much to win. I think we played better than them, but they found a way to win. So it felt kind of like, okay, you know what, they're fitting champions. There's no real, I didn't feel any real animosity towards them doing it. That being said, I didn't watch it because I didn't want to watch it.
I deliberately tuned in at 4:28, bruv.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't watch it. So maybe if I watched it, I would have felt away. But after the game, I'm like, ugh. But end of the day, it's fine. They're worthy champions, so.
Fair. These sort of games are always interesting because I feel like for some teams, when they've won the title, they're just partying in between every single game and there's no discipline. Yeah. And others are like still going. A lot of the time that depends on if they're in other competitions or not. And then on the other side, you guys very much have something you're still fighting for, trying to finish in that top 4, top 5, get into the Champions League again next season. How did that mark your feelings going into the game? Did you guys feel like this should be one we win? Did you think we may get the champions trying to prove a point? I'll start with you, Meeds, and then obviously I'll come across to you, Shems, as well.
Do you know what? I didn't really know what to expect from the game, because I think the way that Chelsea are right now and have been since the turn of the year, been very, very unpredictable. And in fact, no, they've been quite predictable in the sense that in moments where you think they should arrive, they don't arrive. And this was a moment really for them to arrive, because Liverpool, yeah, like you said, weren't really playing for much. In terms of records, like Liverpool didn't really have much to really push for in terms of like having a record number of points or wins or anything like that. I don't think they were going to achieve that. So I think this was a title win that they could really fully enjoy. The last one that they didn't have it with the fans. But I think you could tell that there was I think in the first half more than anything there was like well, we're okay with the result, whatever the weather, it's fine. I think in the second half their championship spirit actually kicked in. They're like, actually, we don't want to lose this game, and they started to amp up a bit of the pressure that didn't really form its way into chances. But yeah, it was a weird one, because I wanted Chelsea to win. I expected a draw more than anything, though. But I thought it was the best chance more than any for us to get the win, given the circumstances.
Fair.
Yeah, that's how I kind of entered the game.
Shem, you're nodding there. Are you in agreement, or did you see it a little bit differently?
I saw it a little bit differently. I actually thought we'd win the game. I can't lie. I think it's more so because we've picked up a little bit of form recently. 2 wins on the bounce before today. Okay. So today makes it 3. And I think Jackson getting a double midweek, I thought was key just for his confidence. Lavia back in the team as well.
Who did you play midweek?
We won't talk about that. Good for the morale, Like, look, listen, when it comes to morale, confidence, you get any way you can. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you, bro. Garden, whatever they call it.
Back in the team, who I thought looked really good last week against Everton. So I was like, you know what? That sunny day, it's at our grounds, it's at Anfield. So I thought, we could actually do them here. And even though they won the league last week, I just feel like Liverpool are a team that they're always 110% in terms of like their intensity. They're not really. It's rare you catch them lackluster, if that makes sense. So I still expected a difficult game. I expected the game to be more difficult than it actually played out, because I actually think it was really only after we scored the second goal that their championship spirit kicked in. Even half the first half of the second half, they were still sleeping. They were still drunk.
Yeah,
so,
agreed.
Yeah,
agreed.
Fair. So obviously you win 3-1. Who watched the game? All 3 of you watched the game?
Yeah.
I'll come to you. You've watched a lot of Chelsea this season. If not to be able to debate the likes of Mead and the likes of Van, and also keep an eye on your Enzo Fernandez stocks, which some say are booming at the minute.
Boy, I ain't gonna talk too much. You get me? I ain't heard Enzo's name in a long time. There's a certain Jamaican Italian who used to tag me in 6 different group chats about Enzo. He ain't asked me a fucking question since October 2024. We're now in May 2025.
Yeah.
Why is that? I'll leave that up to the audience to decide. But sorry, go forth, my good fellow.
No, I want to get your thoughts on how the game played out. Endo scored the first goal. I think the second goal.
Ninth league goal of the season.
Yeah.
11
Really?
assists.
That
Yeah,
many?
a young double. He ain't taking pens as well.
Not bad.
You
Not
know what I
bad.
mean?
You know? Not
Yeah.
bad.
Anyway, I thought it was a really good game. I actually enjoyed it. I thought Chelsea's first goal was brilliant. Lavia, I'm not gonna lie. Every time he moved, I was swaying with him. I was mesmerized. Like,
I was jiving with you. Jiving with you. You mad?
bro, when somebody put in the chat, I'm not sure how true it is, but Chelsea are willing to let Lavia go. And I was like, bring, and people in the chat were like, oh, obviously, Rings was like, he gets injured all the time, bro. Get a masseuse, physiotherapist, Obia man, Juju, everything we need. Chiropractor he is superb, a superb footballer. So he started off that move. Palmer a little bit hit Curtis Jones with the a little bit of movement, played through Neto, cut back. Enzo, very good first touch and finish. And I was like, okay, this is a really good goal. And I thought Chelsea looked about to score the second goal, and then Liverpool clawed themselves back into the game. I was like, Chelsea got to be careful here, because I thought that they were surrendering a bit too much possession to Liverpool. But in the second half, I thought Chelsea had so many counter-attacking opportunities, and I think Jackson was just a bit too thirsty. He was too thirsty. There's one where Madueke ended up scoring, but there was no reason for Jackson to be offside because he's in so much space. He just needs to gain an advantage and try to make that time that run perfectly. And then there was another one in the second half where I do put the onus on the blame on Madueke because she should have played him through straight away. But again, Jackson could have just waited a little bit. So I thought there was a lot of opportunity. Even a couple of times, I think had a good game. He was a bit too greedy in a couple of occasions, trying to cut inside and shoot. But I thought Chelsea were good value for their win. I thought Cucurella was good until Conor Bradley randomly dusted him for 5 minutes. Caicedo, when he moved into midfield, was superb. That was more like first half of the season. Caicedo stepping in, winning the ball. There was a time when it was like a lofted ball in front of his own box. I think he's just going to head it. He showed the guy, chested it, brought it down, flicked it around the corner, beating players, through balls, won the penalty. He was brilliant. I thought Enzo was quality all game. He just does the right thing at the right time. His weight of passes, excellent, good goal. And Cole Palmer. Now, what I find so funny about the Palmer thing is, obviously the commentary they were doing a lot for Palmer at the beginning. Yeah, I agree. I thought he played good in the first half anyway, but they were overgassing it in the first 20 minutes. But now people are trying to pretend that they just were gassing for no reason. Like in the second half, he didn't put like 15 different Liverpool players on the poster. Like he was beating people for fun. Weight of pass from deep. Edge of the box was brilliant. Unlucky not to score when he hit the post. He was involved in the first move. He forced the second goal by, I don't know who was that, Shimikas?
Yeah, Panama.
Bro, I don't know what he was doing, bro, despicable. And also, Shimikas looks a bit like Nunes' little sister, which is quite funny. And then he almost scored a magical goal when I don't know who else he smokes.
Again, he deleted their right back.
Yeah,
deleted their right back.
Both fullbacks were getting it. And that was a very, very clever shot. Very unlucky. I thought he was sensational. And that's the Cole Palmer that I rated. Anton's been trying to run me down in chat saying, oh, you started rating Cole Palmer because he scored goals. No, I started rating Cole Palmer.
That was the biggest
what he was doing. What he was doing today. The ball control, the touch, the passing, the creativity. That's why I was like, this is the best game in the Premier League.
Do you know that angle about the Cole Palmer just goals and assists, right? It's so crazy because even before he started notching goals, was I not saying last season, before the goals came, because most of the goals came in the second half of the season, I said Palmer's definitely one of our best performers, or one of the best performers in the league that season. That's before the goals started flowing. So to say that it's only because of goals and assists that people have been rating Palmer is kind of dishonest because performance levels have been very good, before the goals even started to flow.
Yeah, but you know what happens, Ife, when games are far enough in history, people can rewrite history.
Yeah, it's easy.
That's why this year I made sure, and next year I'm going to add Cole Palmer and Kais. I'm going to add bare players to it, but this year I made sure them dirty Arsenal fans, and I mean that the utmost disrespect, are not going to get away with their lies. So I said, this year we're going to mark down Enzo, we're going to mark down Madders, we're going to mark down Rice, and we're going to mark down who's other better, Odegaard. The Odegaard one went even better than I could ever imagine.
Sweet victory, brother.
Literally, he's got like 3 Premier League games, and one of them was contentious. That consensus in the group, full of Arsenal fans, that was a good game. Enzo's had loads, way more than Rice, which was another easy dub. Obviously, Madison way more than easy dub. But what we're going to do next year is we'll do the same for Palmer. All the players that we contest, we should ask everybody, Do you think it was a good or great game? You put your opinion down. Cool. We take the consensus. Good, bad, or indifferent. Because if the consensus was boom, you can't change the consensus. Because now they're trying to change the consensus on Cole Palmer first half of the season as well as Caicedo. And they were both good in the first half of the season, especially Caicedo. Right. I think Palmer's been poor, very awful second half of the season. But that doesn't mean that his first half of the season is invalidated. That doesn't make sense to me. Because when Rice was whacking the first half of the season and started to play good, not even great, good this half of the season, all of a sudden it's a good season.
Bro, they're starting to say one of the players of the season this season. Like, what? Like, what's going on? Like, the language involved from some of these guys.
But I think but today was back to Chelsea. I was very impressed with Madueke. I thought it was really good, even though a couple times it was a bit too greedy.
Don't smash it.
That's a dub for them.
Gaslight me.
That's a dub for them.
Wait. Because of one good game, you're now puffing.
No, it's not one good game.
It's fine.
Don't worry. It's fine.
They was like, what?
And I thought Neto was good today, but today's game, I want to focus on one particular player, Sancho. Yeah, he's got a bit left.
Aiden Sancho.
Really?
Yeah.
After all the positive performances.
Today showed me why Brody's kind of useless. I ain't gonna cap, yeah.
Yeah.
Point number one.
Talk to us.
Oh, it's because the Bundesliga, they're not that fast. And that's why in England, everybody's fast. He can't get his game off. How fast is Cole Palmer? He was flogging everybody. He was flogging everybody, and he's not fast. Sancho's probably faster than Palmer, right? And then you saw with Madueke and Neto in transition, there's threat, there's deadliness, there's speed, right? They could get to the byline and cut it back. They could generate a yard for a shot. Sancho comes on and he just does nothing apart from fluff a great chance that set up to him by Enzo. So I think Chelsea, I'm not sure if you should still be doing this wild ball. I think this new formation is interesting because it's easier for Palmer to get the ball because he can drift from out to in and all sorts. And I quite like Enzo being able to go back and forth as well.
Yeah.
But I still think Chelsea going forward, they're going to need more from their wide areas. And Nico Jackson, he's just too. You can't rely on him.
What's funny though is that the formation is actually not new. So with Caicedo,
no, you played it before. I know you played it before. Yeah.
I was going to say during this period, that was actually what we were playing, and that leads me on. That allows me to segue nicely into Lavia because I'm trying to think now that maybe he's a big reason why we dropped off so hard. Because when I think about that October, November, December period when we were playing Caicedo right back, Lavia midfield. And all the games we were winning, we were crushing it on teams like Newcastle, Aston Villa at home, all those teams. Lavia was playing. Lavia was starting. And, it got to a point, where, like, with Reece James, where it's like Reece James is injured so much, you start to think that it's not even really much of a factor whether he's there or not. I started to get there a little bit with Lavia, and it made me kind of forget how great this player actually is. And he is actually sensational. The last two games, he plays with so much authority in that midfield. I can't believe his age. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's such a shame that he can't stay fit because if he did stay fit, I'm actually starting to believe that our season wouldn't have gone the way it is gone because it actually allows us. Elijah made a tweet, saying that Chelsea only play football when Lavia's playing. And you know what? He might be cooking.
You know what it is. You know what it is, yeah. You know what it is with Lavia. I think Chelsea are capable of playing good football without him, right? But I don't think they're capable of playing their best football without Lavia, and I think that's a big difference, right? Because Lavia is so good. I think he raises the level of everyone around him. And I think even like in moments where even when you take him off after he's done his work, right, it adds a new level of impetus and energy to the midfield. So, for example, Caicedo moved into midfield after Lavia came off, and he's able to get his game off. You know what I mean? In the moments where it's like you're trying to shut down transitions, Caicedo's got a lot more energy about him to just get into those cycles, find those cycles. And then I think about it, if you just take off, for example, Enzo Fernandez and you have Lavia and Caicedo together, that is, again, a midfield pairing that is just certified. And I think Lavia, for me, transformative is the word that I'd use to describe him because, every time he's played for us this season, I've just felt a degree of assurance and I feel like our team is just miles better. Miles better. And that's because he's just so good. The fact that he's able to find players like Palmer, that pass to Palmer seems basic, but as good as Caicedo is, I don't know if he's going to find it with the same level of speed and weight as Lavia does. You know what I'm saying? as good as Enzo is, I don't know if he's going to opt to play that pass, even though he's capable. I don't know if he's going to opt to play it. You know what I mean? But I just think because Lavia is all about facilitating others, yeah, I think everyone else around him just plays better, looks better. And once again, another 100% pass completion game from him. And it's not them sideways, short back and sides. Those are incisive passes through the lines, punching it through, no fear. And again, you just one of those players that you can't really get the ball off. The amount of time Liverpool tried to press him and he was just spinnerooning them like it was light work. Just a top player and 77 minutes again under his belt.
Question then.
Three more for me, bro. Give me 3 more.
Question then, like, what? How do you manage the obviously the very clear injury issues, and does that mean you have to go out and get a player with a similar skill set? Do you wait and see if he can get that consistency in terms of like what do you do? Because you've seen the impact, for example, in the right back spot with Reece James having these injuries, and you had to go out and get Malo Gusto. How long can Chelsea wait? Like, you understand the talent level, but how long can you realistically wait?
Bro, you know me and my stance. Don't care if you're when it comes to injury-prone players. If you're top, I don't care. This has been me since Robin. Since I've been 14, bro. When Robin was getting injured, and you could see he was a difference maker. Selling him for me was one of the biggest mistakes ever. Right, so I would never sell a player, even though they're injury-prone, if they are just that top level, because there could be a period of their career where their body just gets right and they get it right, and then they're fine. And you don't want to lose that caliber of player. And it for me, you give him as much time as possible. We've got Andre Santos coming in next season, who can hopefully lighten the burden on reliance on Lavia's body, because he can do a similar role, even though he can crash the box a bit more. Honestly, I think our midfield, we don't really need to get that cover at this moment, because I think we've got more than enough. More than.
I've got a slightly different take.
Hold on. Why are you man bare happy? I'm not fucking with this. I'm not vibing with this. Why am I bare happy?
Bro, it's back holiday, bro.
Ask them some questions.
They can't, brother.
What do you want? What do you want? They beat Liverpool and Arsenal lost. What do you want? Trust me.
I know, but do something, man. Ask them some questions to make them sad.
Not this week anyway.
I've got a slightly different take, I think we are slightly light in midfield personally, and I think the answer to your question would actually to bring in someone to help manage Lavia. And so Meeds mentioned Andre Santos, which is perfect because he already plays for us. Just bring him back on loan. But I feel like, especially if we get Champions League football, for example, we're not gonna have the luxury to just rest players like we do in the Conference League. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like we do need an extra body in there, because Lavia is not gonna be able to play every single game. Could probably play 1 game a week max, which is crazy considering he's early 20s. But we're gonna need someone else to come in and help Caicedo and Enzo. So
Andre Santos.
So I think
Santos, and even Ugo Chukwu as well.
Bringing one of them back, I think is the best answer. But Lavia was just one of many great individual performances today, because even like shout out Levi Cole. Cole was great today.
He was brilliant.
He was really
Levi Cole.
Yeah.
How things going with bro?
Sorry.
You know what? The last couple of games, he's been really good, to be fair.
Last
criticism that he's had. We've been back there. We're back. I can't lie. Listen,
I'm honest.
I like that, bro. What was that?
You get me? No, that's true. It's true. You know what it is, yeah? When a player's playing bad, you have to say he's playing bad. And I think Levi, since the turn of the year, he was being pathetic. Like, he wasn't being strong. He was being just like flapping all over every single challenge. He's like running, just pathetic, right? Overall game has been pathetic. But I think the last couple of games, he's definitely stood up and been counted. So I got no complaints, bro. But still, he's bucking up his ideas. He's bucking up his ideas because them links with defenders. He's like, you know what?
I hear it. So where do you stand with him? Because in previous years, he's been linked to guys who are some of the best defenders in the league at present. He obviously hasn't been that. Are you guys still invested in the long term, what Levi Cole can become, or do you want to get an improvement, an upgrade?
No, I've got stocks, but if I'm being completely honest, I look at Murillo, who's maybe a couple of years older than him. I think Murillo's a much better player, and I'd rather get Murillo. That's just me, right? I don't think Levi Cole's a bad player. I think he could develop into a really good player, but I would rather have Murillo. You know what I'm saying? So Huyson, another good player, good young player. Would I say that he's night and day above Levi? I'm not entirely sure, but at the same time, that man have to tussle. If that's the case, I think for me, if you're gonna improve upon a certain area, you have to get someone that's either of a similar level to let players tussle it out, or get a step up improvement, like Morayo, for example.
Right.
So I think Chelsea are looking at Morayo, looking at Huyson. I think Mark Gurhey as well.
Yep.
I think Tar might be a free option. So they're looking at a couple of players at centre back. So yeah, they might have to buck up their ideas because Fofana's injury prone. Chalobah, who was brilliant today, I don't know if he has a long-term future at the club. Tosin was a freebie mid. Badly Shield, injury prone. The Sassy, crap. So we've got exactly. So we've got a couple of players that.
Hey, where did you get bad as UK from?
He came from Monaco, same way as the Sassy still. But
Yeah,
Shield,
you lot
he's
dirty.
been a disappointment.
We got two big black guys. Trust me, that's fun. Trust me, that's fun.
Do you know what's crazy with the Sassy?
On
Do you know
paper,
this
that
was
is
Badly Shield?
Yeah.
The thing is, Badly Shield started off very impressively, but he's fallen away massively, man.
He don't look like a footballer, fam.
Any last thoughts? Obviously, you guys are in this top four. You guys are in this top four race. Does this result make you more confident of making top four? Who do you think the final top four will be? Who do you think slips out of it? Where your head's at with this top four race now?
Go on,
I think top four is difficult because City have come back into it, right? And to be honest with you, I don't see Arsenal finishing fifth. I'll be real. So yeah, top four is difficult, but top five, I think we can make it.
Okay, so who would you think are the four that are going to finish above you potentially then?
Finish above us. I think City, the way it's going.
Yeah.
City, Liverpool, the way it's going, and you know what? Actually, no, I tell a lie. No, we can get into fourth. I think we can. I think Newcastle can come out because Newcastle will play Arsenal and us.
Okay.
Tell a lie. Yeah, too. I think we can get in top four. Yeah, we can. We definitely.
Yeah, and Newcastle haven't been looking too clever as well.
Yeah. If anyone, it will be City, Arsenal, and Liverpool to finish probably above us. I think we just need to get a point next week because that's going to be. I always get that game as the hardest one because
Newcastle.
Yeah.
Away.
Wait, do you have Forest still?
Yeah, we got
Forest.
I don't get Forest.
Are you home or away?
Away. But I think
it's going to be a tough one.
I think we could beat Forest personally. I'm not too worried about
that. Liverpool victory, now you could beat everybody, yeah?
That's what I'm saying, right? That's what I'm saying. I think the Forest one's actually going to be the most tricky one because the final day, lots of pressure, right?
But it might not.
I had a question though, Morayo, because I'm just looking at the table. That's mad. But wait, is it? So wait, no, it's a question. It's just a question. Hold on, it's just a question. So wait, is that Arsenal 4 points above Chelsea?
Yeah, 4 points.
So what? Are they in a top 5 battle as well? What's going on? Because
boy, they got Liverpool next week, you know. Anfield.
What's going on? I'm confused. Because there was loads of talks about them being levels and levels and levels above certain teams. I'm just confused that this point differential is a bit mad. Can we explain?
This is actually if it remains like a relatively small point gap, and you lot win Europa Conference. But
I just need help. Because I was saying, you may be better, but is the gap massive?
It's been a poor run of form for them the last five games. 1 win in 5.
10 games.
Really?
They've won 3 and 10.
Didn't all this come after Chelsea going on, being the last team in the Premier League to win away from home in 2025? It did. So, I mean, I'm hearing about, they've been a bad run of form. Everyone's had bad run of forms. But surely, if your level's above, that bad run of form shouldn't really mean too much in the grand scheme of things, should it? It should be that close if your level's above, right?
No, I mean, mathematically, there should be more of a gap.
I mean, hey, yeah, you got better players, better squad, better manager. I mean, why is the gap this?
I think mathematically, they're in there, but you're an Arsenal fan, you're probably not worried about getting dragged into the top 5 battle proper.
We'll keep our eye on the street stuff now.
I mean, they got Liverpool and Newcastle, so it could.
Liverpool will be hungover. Come on.
I don't think so. Do you know what?
That man gets cashed on. That man gets cashed on.
Let me tell you this for sure. I mean, this is one thing for sure. Liverpool and
Arsenal are
Chelsea this season.
Arsenal are getting crushed on you.
Yeah. This is the thing. Liverpool and Chelsea this season, there's been some niceties between them. You know, Slot's been very complimentary about Enzo. Enzo's been very complimentary about Liverpool and Slot. So I think even today, like Slot after the game, give Mersk a little wink. Yeah, have that, brother. Go feed your family, right? I'll promise you right now, after the smack talk that the Arsenal man were talking about, mate, I'll be very shocked if Liverpool don't go all guns blazer next week. I'll be shocked. Because they're gonna.
Them man gonna be depressed after the season ends again. Vitinha, salam,
you know what? I
brother.
don't know.
One more flavor.
I don't know. I'm not even gonna talk too much about Champions League. I'm
talking bare.
I'm gonna leave that to the
Vitinha,
side.
salam, my brother.
I'm gonna leave that to the side, bro.
I'm
leaving that to the side because I don't. Let me stay calm.
Nah,
We stay calm. We stay
They've got
focused.
no heritage.
So I guess normally we go through the Sunday game to go to Saturday, but since we've spoken about Arsenal, we may as well stay with Arsenal. They had the late game yesterday at home against Bournemouth.
That was a fun game to watch as
Played
well.
a really strong team, interestingly.
Why?
And they lost 2-1.
Yeah. They got their heads crashed. They got their heads crashed. I'm sorry. They were the better. Bournemouth for the better team. Bournemouth for the better team. Better team.
I didn't watch, so I need you guys to explain to me what
Bournemouth, yeah. I swear on everything. They had Watara styling and profiling on Ben White.
Hey, Ben White was getting beat up.
Blammed. He was getting blammed. And I'm just like, and this is the same guy that anyway, I'm not gonna do that.
Benny Blanco. Hey,
bro.
Hey, my man put him in that flipping. What they call where they put themselves in the tanning thing, that little coffin thing. He slammed it, shots out, shaking.
Slammed him in the sunbed.
Shaking the sunbed, cuz.
Yeah, Arsenal were poor, man. Everything was sloppy. Yeah, just poor. Bournemouth has so many openings, man. So many openings. I think if Semenyo started that match, they would have been in big trouble. Obviously, they still lost the game, but Semenyo came on and changed the game.
Even also was causing the best centre back in the world and his partner a lot of problems.
Real
He's a good player. And I was actually impressed with Rice in the first half. I thought Rice was good. Martinelli was giving Bournemouth a lot of problems down that left hand side. Nothing came down the right hand side literally all game. Apparently Saka played. I don't know. I'm not looking for a vicious rumor. I'm trying to do rumors. You know me, hashtag this moment, trying to deal on facts. I'll double check. I'll watch the game, but allegedly Saka did play. I will confirm that later for you.
He did play.
Right. Yeah.
That's mad.
Yes.
So do you think it was a case of them going easy because they have the game against PSG, or were they tired and were they literally outplayed?
You know what?
I don't think they didn't get paid for the whole game. Like I thought, Bournemouth started off really, really well, and I think Bournemouth should have had the lead. There's one time where they had the chance to make a good cutback, they messed it up, and then another where they clipped it for even Nielsen. He had a whole goal gaping. He just couldn't convert the header. Then also scored a good goal, Declan Rice. Nice reverse pass from Odegaard. I can't believe you could still do that. Rice round the keeper, could finish. And then they had quite a few other dangerous moments, mainly generated by Martinelli. But for most of the second half, they weren't really on piss. And I thought Bournemouth were getting back into the game. Scored from a set piece. Well, I think one was a long throw.
Western throwing from Semenyo.
It was Western making 1-1, and then the second one's from a corner. But I thought Bournemouth was actually good value for their equaliser goal. And I thought they were the better side in the second half. And Arsenal just didn't really look particularly threatening. Like they went to go down. I don't really understand Arteta. You got a big game midweek coming up. You're giving Ethan Awari like chicken nugget minutes. I just don't really care.
I have a question though.
Here, damn trust minutes, yeah.
Yeah. I had a question, Disu. You said Declan Rice performed well in the first half. What did he do well for you?
Obviously, I think his movement was really good. Like he got a couple good shooting opportunities. One where I think Martelli played him through some good one-touch football, and he dragged it wide left post with his far post with his left foot. Obviously, he got the goal. Great run, great finish. There's another one when the ball cut back to him. He tried to side foot, he just couldn't get it quite right. And he did actually confiscate the ball from Bournemouth like 3 times. Like rest of have the pitch. So he was active. But the second half, not so much at all.
Right.
And also Arsenal
Was
fans,
it,
you
is
not
it
lie.
true? I was just gonna say, is it
Quick
true
one,
that in the
before I forget,
second
yeah.
half? Go on.
They tried to run Declan Rice this and that. I made sure I rewatched that game because the midweek game I was on my way to airport in Ghana, so I was on my phone and commentating with my group chat. So I made sure I rewatched it again. Yeah, thank God for Amazon Prime on my big TV, no sound, fam. Man, sat there diligently. There's no chance of the best midfielder on the pitch. Not a fucking chance in hell. You lot lied.
Liars.
You lot tried to lie
Liars,
off. It was Neves and then Vitinha. And then maybe Ruiz or Rice. They lied. But
Yeah,
anyway, go on.
just lies. But just a quick one. Is it not true that the same midfield was getting carved open in the second half? I saw it gaping holes in that midfield. And I don't know if it's Erdegaard or Rice, but physically, they just can't live with what Bournemouth was shedding out. I think maybe Erdegaard was struggling in transition, but Declan Rice,
Odegaard looked like he was stuck in mud quite a few times. I don't think it's Rice because Rice has been putting in work in defensively.
Rice put in work 1,000,000%. But again, Rice's best position is box to box, defensive box to box, and even like he's starting to chip in with more goals. And I think that's naturally what you're going to get from a box to box player. I think generally, Arsenal need another six. And I think everyone needs to let go of this idea of Rice playing as the sole lone six or the deepest midfielder. It just doesn't, it's not going to work. Not going to work. Partey, he is just too ancient now. And I think the idea that they're going to renew his contract is crazy, considering all of the allegations, but also his legs, I think is absolutely insane. So they need a new six. And I think they need to let Rice do his thing in terms of that all-round ball and then seek and destroy sort of role, because I think that's where you get the best version of Declan Rice more than anything else. And I think that's where most of his best performances this season have come. In fact, that's probably where most of his best performances have come in an Arsenal shirt, period. I did find it interesting when you talked about him performing well in the first half. I didn't really think so, but he scored a great goal, amazing goal, because the touch to get past the keeper in the slot, very, very good, but I won't say that he performed well. I don't think anyone in that Arsenal team really, really performed well. I think even Saliba in the first half, I think he just got away with not conceding a penalty, because I think he just got his foot on the ball. I don't know if he got his foot on the ball, but it didn't look like it was a clean tackle. It could have given away a penalty. But yeah, I just didn't think anyone really performed too well. I think Raya was crap for the goal. Crap for Hoyson's header and crap for the Evan Nilsson.
No, the second goal, he's actually going it.
Hoyson's header
was ones where it's like watching somebody who's not good at table tennis try to swing for the ball and miss. Second goal.
You say it's in the corner, but I think
for Hoyson's one.
Hoyson's one was
I think Raya should do better. But I think
the thing with Raya, because he's so small, yeah, when he dives, he just looks so funny.
He looks very poor, yeah.
But I think what you were saying about like how Arsenal played yesterday, honestly and truthfully, I think they've been like that.
This whole season.
For most of the season. I don't want to be overly critical because they've had injuries, but so have Manchester City, so have Chelsea, so I could only use injuries to an extent. But I think for parts of the first half of the season and large parts of the second half of the season, this is how they've performed in the league. And I think personally, like a couple free kicks made everyone forget how underwhelming their season has been in the league this year, because it's been really underwhelming, like almost
it's really getting ridiculous.
They have not got to anywhere near the level of consistency and the level of performances that they reached in the last 2 seasons. And when I look at the table, it makes sense why they're so far away from Liverpool.
Dan Cruz tried it. Like I think it was like a December, January pod when he was trying to say that they're better than Liverpool, despite being behind Liverpool in every single underlying metric, including the actual main metric, points and goals, for example. And what's so funny about what you said about Chefs, about those 2 free kicks, changed everything for them. It did. And that's what made Tuesday so sweet. Because the crash back. And it's so funny. That's why when they're in my group chat, like, yo, Disu, they're on your ass about Declan Rice. I said, bro, I'm a seasoned Arsenal hater.
We're veterans in this team, man.
It is wait, bro. I knew, like, playing against Madrid are bums. I've watched Madrid all year. They're not a good football team. They're not. So cool, you crashed on Madrid. I thought maybe Madrid's heritage will get it done and Arsenal bottle it. But they'll go against the midfield in Paris
At Robin Field.
Bro,
But actually,
home and away, it doesn't matter. Steppers, free
Yeah.
steppers. They will go to your
Yeah.
stadium and take the crowd out of it straight away. And then let's see what you could do. Do you get what I'm saying? So I had supreme confidence in what PSG would do. And I knew after that, even though, in my opinion, I don't think Declan Rice had a bad game. I thought he was actually pretty decent against PSG. But then all of a sudden, now their fans are talking about Declan Rice in the first phase. This, that, and the third. Bro, when Arsenal lose, all of a sudden the truth comes out.
Yeah.
Also, fun fact,
All
before I
of a sudden, the truth will set you free.
Bear Murray, they did Muriel's for a set piece coach, which is one of the top 5 most despicable anti-football, anti-beautiful game acts in the modern football era. Yeah.
So what are you guys really telling me here? The only way Arsenal can redeem themselves is by winning the CL.
Oh, they have to. They have to.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
They
they
have
would have
to.
progressed. Because think about it this way:
48% of Arsenal goals conceded have been from set pieces.
City.
I thought Jova was just offensive. Does he coach the defending of them too?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. He has to.
Guy. I thought it was an offensive set piece coach.
Okay.
Jova.
So now I need somebody to do the math. Because someone in Chat GPT put in what is the net percentage of goals from set pieces. Because if the ball conceded, if the conceded percentage is higher than a negative, than positive one, I don't want to see them zoom in on bro again on Sky Sports.
I think they've conceded about level. I think they've scored 12 and conceded 12, something like that. It's quite level. The net impact is
just on what you said, Morayo. Yeah, they have to win the CL because Manchester City are only 3 points behind them, so it's possible that they could finish second.
Okay.
If Arsenal finish third and don't win the CL, then they would have progressed.
Okay.
There's no two ways about it. And you know that's the type of angle that Anton likes to take. He's very black and white results. So let's do black and white results.
I mean, Ant's already cooking it up, bro.
He's already cooking it up. I know him and Arteta. Yeah.
Fluctuates on a week by week basis. Honestly, now we say, I think we saw there's a message went out linking to Libertarian, and it was like, yeah, it's fine. Apparently, all we want is second place in the Champions League semi-final anyway. Last week, he was telling me if they don't win it, boy. So, you know, you won't find him defending Arteta. He'll actually circle back around and remind us that when Arteta was finishing 8th, he was one of the few people who was telling us that it wasn't good enough. So he's covered regardless. Arsenal win, he's laughing. Arteta flops, he'll remind us he was Arteta out. So we'll see. I think he has gotten to a stage where the fans almost justify anything he does, anything that happens. There's always a reason why it's not his fault. I was reading I saw the little clip from the interview where he was talking about we had 7 players out. Mind you, like 2 or 3 of them were in positions where they were playing starters. So unless you're planning to play 8 defenders,
it's crazy. when he said Gabriel Jesus, he goes, I started number 9 Havertz, then Gabriel H. No, shut up, bro. You can't play all your defenders. Hey, let's talk on these Arsenal fans, yeah.
Yeah, no, sorry, quickly.
quickly.
I just wanted to say something about their draws in the league. Yeah, so they've got 13 draws in the league, which is second joint most. Yeah, big man thing. I can see why they've drawn so many games. Seriously,
not good in attack.
When you look at their attack, yeah, my God, if Saka can't get his game off, yeah, it's curtains. You might as well just close the shop and just turn it off.
I don't think they have a single player in double figures in the league for goals.
Yeah, they don't. Kai Havertz is their top scorer, and he hasn't played a game since February. He scored 9 goals this season, and he's their top scorer.
Crazy, bro.
He's still their top scorer.
And the thing is with all about this, yeah, the thing about all of this
in attack. Yeah, sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say the thing about all this is we said this from the beginning, and we'll told this agenda. When we were saying that there's not enough goals in this team to carry them to a title, they're telling me, "Oh no, but you share the goals. I'll tell you, attacking coach." No. When you're up against a reliable eater, you can't be talking about sharing goals, bro. You can't be talking about fucking set pieces. And when I told them that too many of their goals were coming from set pieces for them to be relying on consistent goal scoring, they'll just talk about, oh, but we're underlying the best team. It's just nonsense. I think ultimately there's been a lot of copiism from these men, and the things have come home to roost. And for me, it's just fantastic to watch. I can't lie. It's just beautiful to watch. It's beautiful to watch the capitulation. It's beautiful to watch the lack of synergy that I'm seeing around the club as well. I'm seeing fans turn on Arteta. I'm seeing fans turn on sporting directors. I'm seeing fans not being happy with the owners again. So soon come Arsenal fan TV, they're gonna be mudded. It's just I love it all. I love it all. I love the chaos. I love the chaos coming back to the fore. And I think Arsenal, if they don't win the Champions League,
It's gonna be mad if they don't win.
it's gonna be very, very long for them.
Toxic.
I
It's
think
gonna be very toxic.
very toxic.
I don't know if he'll be able to recover. Arteta, that is. Like,
Really?
I think in terms of how toxic it could get, because apparently they were fighting in the stadium yesterday. Like,
What, the fans?
Yeah. Like, is it already getting?
Alhamdulillah.
Like, and it's mad because
Alhamdulillah.
literally, it's mad because literally,
This
not
is
that long
insane.
ago, everything was actually quite rosy at Arsenal. Like,
It's
in
all
terms
good
of
just a
there was
week
a real
ago, bro.
connection between the fans, between the manager and the players. Like, everything was actually almost enviable. So I just find it crazy how fast things can turn in football. So
Well,
they
because the only
desperately.
fun thing, the reason why, Shems, is the only fun thing of being on the precipice of succeeding is when you actually succeed. Just being on the precipice forever is not fun. Never quite winning is not fun.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking on that, they are the Leo. I tweet they're the Leo Messis, of belittling trophies that they don't win. I don't understand how you could do that.
Bro.
The amount of excuses are making for Europa League,
And the
or why
Michael
it's in
Jordan
the,
was
bro, you won Europa League
literally
multiple times and you never won it.
Mm.
Oh, because Champions League teams were in it. You got blamed by Olympiacos, Sporting Lisbon, and Villarreal.
Facts.
What is going on, bro?
Facts. Remember
Carabao Cup, you got banned.
Remember that Olympiacos night?
Oh, me, you, and me, you put up 50 points each.
That's probably the single funniest night in that chat. And do you know why these
Bro.
not kill me? It's because of how they choose to play the game. If you're going to be vocal when it is going well, you absolutely cannot hide when it stops going well. You can't do that. Either you're quiet constantly or you're loud constantly. Because when you're quiet and you're losing, that's a drug, man. I'm high, bro. Like, I'm floating. That Real Madrid time.
Waiting her for Lewis Sin.
You know what made it so delicious? They're childish, man. If you're childish.
Mind you, you know they're in the Touchline Gunners chat. Oh, it's Arteta. The triangles aren't working. This is a problem. If we just had Declan Rice as the right interior 8 with the juxtaposed left wing back, then he wouldn't have this issue. Nah, bro. Anyway, we'll see. They're playing on Wednesday, aren't they? Wednesday's going to be a deadly day.
Deadly day.
No matter what.
Deadly day.
I will
Big
be
game.
there no
It could finish Arteta.
matter what.
You know what? It's difficult to really gauge, right? Because I don't know how PSG are going to approach it. To be honest, I think PSG will approach it the same way. Try and pop them off the pitch. That's what they do, right? That's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Arsenal have to haramball it, to be honest. They can't beat them on the pitch. They can't play better than them. I think they have to really haramball it. And I don't know, man. Because if I'm seeing what Semenyo and them are doing to Partey in midfield, you'd like to think that PSG with them attackers can cause real problems in that midfield area. But we'll see, man. We'll see. Declan's in decent form as well, goal scoring wise. So
PSG got robbed though. They should have ended the tie that game because I don't know how that's not a penalty on Kvaratskhelia. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, facts. Big facts. Big facts.
I think Saka has to rise it. They need Saka and Rice because those are really the players that rise.
They're the only men.
They're the only men in those teams. So if they rise it, of course Arsenal have a chance. But PSG will approach it the same way. They blamed Liverpool, lost, came to Anfield, and just went again. Do you know what I'm saying? So I expect the same thing on Wednesday. And it could get dark quite early, but we never know. Champions League.
You never know.
Champions League is a fun.
We'll see. We'll be there regardless. Quick, Manchester United played earlier today, 4-3. Suggests an exciting game, Disu. Was that the case?
It was a really poor game from us.
Okay.
It was a really poor game. We actually got battered. So it was a decent game at the beginning. We get a very good goal, very good move. Maino clipped it over the top to Garnacho. He very good cut back to Mason Mount. That was a good goal. Mount actually scored, just a shocker. Garnacho very good at those cutbacks, especially with his left foot. And then Brentford scored pretty soon after. It was a very poor goal from us to concede. Long throw to the box. Maino wins the first header to clear it out. And then Hamas kind of hesitated. And then he lost the subsequent header to, I think it was Kayode. And then a player kind of poked it across the box and it deflects off Luke Shaw. He could do nothing about it into the net. And then from there, we just got rushed, really and truly. I'm not gonna lie. Brentford were dynamic. I think Mbeumo had a good game. Charlotte had a good game. Kaide was beating us up. Like, they created several chances and they were valued to be 3-1 up. We did make some changes at half time, but those changes didn't really do much for the game.
Okay.
And then it went 4-1.
Yeah.
And then from then we started to play a bit better, but obviously the games were pretty much out of hand. Get a great goal from Garnacho and another good goal from Ahmad. But yeah, we just got smacked for the whole game, really, truly.
Cool. So nothing really to learn from that performance apart from the fact that we're not good, but we already knew that. Obviously, you can see we rotated players, played some of the younger players. I saw people crashing out over a mass, but it's only a 17-year-old lad, and it's a team with a pretty dynamic attack.
Yeah, he wasn't particularly great, and his use of the ball, like his crossing was really, really bad, and some decision making was really, really bad. But again, yeah, he's a kid, isn't it? So you can't go too crazy on a kid in his like third, fourth game for United. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, not too much on a mass. I don't think there's anything else to touch on from the Premier League games this weekend. Quick Champions League second leg. I'm assuming you guys watched the classic Barca versus Inter 3-3 last week, or earlier this week, should I say. They're playing the first semi-final this week on the Tuesday. Inter to go through. Do you think Barca have enough firepower? What's your guys' predictions for that one?
That's a very interesting one, because as brilliant as Barcelona going forward, they're quite they're quite shaky at the back.
Susceptible.
You just gave up.
And the thing is, Inter they have a very solid foundation. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of always been them, like very, very rigid. And they've got players that can hurt you. So it's not a foregone conclusion at all, despite the ridiculous talent that Barcelona have in Lamine Yamal, and Pedri and those players there. I don't know I don't think Lewandowski is going to make it, is he?
He's still injured, yeah.
Yeah, he's still injured. That would have they could have done with him, I can't lie, because there was a couple of chances that they had even before they scored that he probably would have tucked. And if he was if he was fit, that probably would swing it a little bit more their way. But it's very, very even. I don't think I could call it, if I'm honest with you. Because Inter are very solid at the back and they've got players that can hurt you. But I think just off like pure football, Barca will probably outscore them. So I'll probably say they go through.
Fair enough. How about you, Disu?
Yeah, I still fancy Barcelona because of the firepower. They just generate so many chances. But as Shem said, defensively, they're really poor. And also, like 90% of their defense have got injured. Like Balde's injured, Koundé got injured as well. Quite a few players have been injured in the defense, and obviously you're missing Lewandowski, which does kind of matter when you're playing against a team that's going to kind of sit back in their shape and defend a lot. Barca really kind of messed up themselves in the first leg because they were giving away silly goals, because they really thoroughly outplayed Inter for large parts of the game. Especially the whole first half was all Barca from beginning to end, and the game ended up 3-3, which is not particularly ideal. So yeah.
Fair enough. And what's your guys' predictions for PSG Arsenal? I think you've kind of already given them, to be honest.
I think PSG are going to win on the day.
Yeah.
I think they'll beat them like 2-0 or 2-1. I think PSG's midfield is just too good at controlling large flows of the game, and Arsenal are not a very potent attack. And I think a lot of people got a bit carried away with the fact that they dispatched Madrid in such a fantastic fashion. They really smacked them across both legs. But Madrid are a bit of a mess of a football team. They're not particularly organized. They've got too many players that are kind of cheating, if that makes sense. You don't get that for PSG. PSG are a brilliant pressing team. All of their players work super duper hard. And they've got so much threat from everywhere. So their front three is already threatening in with Cavra, Dembele, and Desiree Doué. Then you've got the threats from the fullbacks, who are both super fast, both can dribble. Hakimi can shoot. They can both pass across. So they've got threats everywhere. And one thing about them is they're so good at keeping the ball for long periods because everybody's so good technically. And I think watching that game, and I watching the back for the second time, one thing I noticed, is where Arsenal missed Gabriel, because the thing that Dembele does very well as kind of like the false nine is the way he drops off into the pockets and his touch. Dembele is a super technician. His touch is so good. And if you're tight to him, he could turn you either way and then play a pass. You kind of saw that for the first goal. Gabriel is one of the best I've seen at making it very difficult for you to control the ball and set it. And obviously with Kiwa and Saliba, who don't particularly defend like that, Dembele is very, very influential in how they keep the ball for long periods in the game, innit? So Arsenal are going to have to, I think, where Arsenal really need to roll back the time is set pieces. They really need to get back on a set piece bag desperately. I think one thing they need to do is really try to play the percentage balls and get set pieces, because PSG are quite a small team. Obviously, they got the Marquinhos and Pacho. Yeah, they're good in the air. Outside of that, it's not particularly great. Like Ruiz is a pretty tall player. Hakimi is pretty tall, but you wouldn't call them like dominant in the air. Also, they've got Declan Rice, they've got Partey, they've got Marino, they've got Kivior, they've got Saliba. So those are very, very big players, especially if Saka's taking a set piece. Then you've got Declan Rice in the box as well. So I think that's where they could potentially do damage. But I just don't, the way things are going now, unless PSG bottle it. If PSG play a B+ game, B game, they're going to go through.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Shall we go on to our awards, gentlemen? Cool. Nice one. Let's start with the first one. Get Big Sam in as defensive coach if he ain't managing award. This is a managerial award, positive, negative, more than one person. You guys keep me on my toes every single week. I'll start with you this week, Shems. Who's your Big Sam award winner this week?
Grandpa. Yeah, I think he kind of tricked a lot of us. Bro doesn't win enough games. I'm sorry, he doesn't win enough games, and for all the approach play and all of that, which can be nice at times, he's so bad at getting results. He's gone to West Ham, and their fortunes have not changed one bit. They drew against Southampton last week. I said, yeah, this guy's cooked. So Graham Potter, he's too much idea ball, project ball. It's yeah.
Project ball is crazy.
Yeah, man. Graham Potter.
Disu, who's your Big Sam award winner this week?
I have two. I have Luis Enrique for obvious reasons. I don't need to go further than that. And I also have Marcus Silva for Fulham. Fulham, I think Fulham have won the most points in terms of getting away games at the big 16s. So I think that's super impressive for Fulham to be able to go away to the top sides in the league and compete at such a high level. They're a good team. They're not exactly like littered with mad superstars or whatnot, but they play good football. I watched them against Villa. That was a very good game. Yeah, so I'm very impressed with what he's been able to do at Fulham, and he's proven that he's actually a good manager.
Cool. Get Big Sam in as defensive coach if he ain't managing award winner for me this week. Arteta, key part of the season, 2 losses. First one at home, Champions League semi-final, first chance, realistic chance since 2006 to make a final. They pull out that performance, and then playing your starters and again serving up an underwhelming performance on Saturday as well. So I'm going to give him a shout out for poor managerial performance this week. Shout you out, Arteta. Next one is it's not double denim. It's a moment that had you rattled this week. I'm going to go with Yakuba Minte's celebration today. What the hell? Brighton shouldn't use him again this season. Big and serious. Brighton should not use bro again.
That was despicable.
What the hell? Yeah, my head went. My head went. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Come. What had you rattled this week?
I don't think I've been rattled this week. I've been trying to think about this. I don't think I've been rattled at all. It's been a brilliant week. If you ask me, it's just been a fantastic week, bro. You get me? It's just been a fantastic week. I could do one for the week before.
Fair.
Luke Shaw's cameo. Yeah. The less said about.
What cameo was this? Sorry, I must have missed it.
Was it against Leon?
Yeah, it was
Oh,
Europa League against Leon.
okay.
Yeah, absolutely horrific. Like he came on and just stunk up the joint, man. How was he today?
Mid.
Fair enough. We ain't getting off that contract though. And how about you, Shems? Moment had you rattled?
You know what? Stayed on Europa League. I think it was so. I was going back and forth with my boys, Batner and last week. I was like, I'll bet your mortgage on you not going through that semi-final against Bilbao. Turn on the TV now. I'm seeing 3-0 in the first half. My head was in the sky. I said, what? I fully expected you man to get crushed on like there was no tomorrow. Away leg in Spain.
None of you man are watching Bilbao. You are
This is
just
why it's been so funny.
Yeah, we're not.
None of you are
Man
watching.
got cooked by the TikToks. Welcome to hell. We were there with our feet up.
Listen,
Feet up.
I looked at
G'd
the,
up
Bruno
from
and
the
Casemiro were
feet up,
Uggs.
bro. G'd up from the feet up, brother.
I looked at the table. I saw Bilbao fourth. I said, that's enough.
That's enough.
That's enough.
I hate you. I was with you. I was running with you, Shems. Don't worry.
Right. Because when do you lot ever turn up in the European semi? Like it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like recently,
We kind of do.
recently in Europe.
Yeah, we've been to 2 Europa League finals.
Okay, in Europe in general, like in the CO, it's been bad in it. But fair enough, Europa are cool. Fair enough, you got me. But yeah, that was my moment.
Yeah, fair. Next one is the Zero Agenda's agenda of the week. Disu, I'll start with you.
Oh, just Arsenal fans in general, boy. I'm just waiting for around 10 p.m. on Wednesday, and I'm just gonna let them have it. I'm gonna let them have it. Oh
A
Lord,
few men are waiting, bro. Dr. Mike, we're speaker on the side. We had a
Morayo, I ain't gonna hold you.
last week.
I ain't gonna hold you.
told
Emergency
him.
pod. Oh,
Yeah.
emergency pod.
I'm ready,
pod.
bro.
Emergency pod.
We were meant to do one off the because I said to Khalil, if you don't lose that first leg on Wednesday, emergency pod. I was out, but I'm inside this week, brother. I'm inside. So they are out. It's emergency pod. It's Falcao pod all over
Yeah.
again. Me, you,
Oh,
Lewis.
that's the best ever emergency pod ever.
Me, you, Lewis. 3-1 thing. Get on there. Let's have it at. Let's have it at. What about you, Shems? What's your agenda this week, brother?
Yeah, it has to be Arsenal. Just simply because City are 3 points behind you. City were at one point like one win in like 12 or something like that. I can't believe it. 13 draws. That's
insane. That's absolutely
that's
insane. This ain't gonna surprise you guys, Arsenal too. Like, I've got all the stocks. All the stocks are in Arsenal.
All the chips have been pushed.
I was there from last. I know you not listen to last week's, but I made it very clear to Khalil. This is what I said last week as well. Arsenal, Rock Nation must crumble. Rock Nation must crumble. This is all you got. The guys are trying to PR their way through the title. I'm so confident. Yeah, it's not over. You was at home, brother. You was at home, and that's what you served up. You ain't got no goals in that team. Let's see. Arteta went from get behind us to we have 7 players out to we're gonna make it. And you serve that up this weekend, and you're looking at me in my eyes and telling me you're confident. Say no more, man. I see what time we say Disu or Wednesday.
10 p.m., brother.
10 p.m.ish, bro. A little bit past 10 p.m.ish. We'll see you there.
Let's just hope the spirit of PSG don't ruin this, man. Because
There's no spirit of PSG, man.
no, they're nasty in Europe, bro. Remember against you, man.
There's too many steppers out there.
I know. I feel like this time's different. This time is
too many
definitely
steppers out there.
But
And
still,
especially if PSG get that first goal.
yeah.
Otito.
Yeah, agreed. Cool. And finally, the underrated ESR. I know I have talent award. Player, you want to shout out who you feel is underrated? Disu.
I like this player, and I was surprised he ended up on loan, especially at Ipswich. And Ciso, most times I've watched him, I've been impressed. He's got great touch. He could dribble. He's got great shooting power. He can shoot from distance. He's got another great goal against Everton this weekend. I like him. He has no business being at Ipswich. I think he's definitely a top half of the table side. But obviously, everybody's doing this big brain or tactical. You need to be 6'2" and run very hard and da. That's why I'm really praying on a Barca PSG final, and hopefully we can understand that. Guess what? The ball moves faster than any human being. So yeah, Incisio, a proper player.
Cool. For me, Anthony, I'm gonna need my 40 million euros in.
Yeah, you're with me
in
now. You're
cash.
with me now. 40 million.
Only my 40
million.
million euros in cash ASAP. You guys have seen what he's doing at
Who
Bill.
would have thought that Anthony's stock would be higher than Sancho's?
You've seen what he's doing at Betis. You've seen he's doing league level. He's doing it at European level. The lad is underrated, guys. You get him, he'll change your life at right wing.
I need him to crash on Chelsea Europa Cup final as well.
Guys, that's your guy. No, you can't go wrong. Shems, how about you, brother?
I've got two.
Okay.
So the first one, I'm gonna say Curtis Jones. You know, I think he quietly had a good game today.
He got dunked on today, though.
You think so?
You
I
got
feel like he was right today. There's a couple.
He got crashed on. Man.
Maybe it was that one tackle at the end.
No, he got fucking crashed on today. Sorry, bro.
That tackle moved.
I like it, though. He's a good player, but he got crashed.
Yeah, good player. The second one, you guys can help me out a little bit here, but I like the look of this OB kid that plays up front for you guys. I feel like he looks like he's.
So did I. I like
looks
something
like,
I saw today. I ain't
I
got
was like,
hold
past tense, this is what happened. I thought, yeah, so did I. Like I said, no, you don't anymore.
Oh no, I do. There was things, a couple of things he did today. Like his hold up is infinitely better than Højlund, and then there's even a way he fashioned a shot for himself.
That I think that was going in. If
that was probably
by Van Hecker. If Van Hecker doesn't block that, I think that goes in. So I like the look of him. He's got a good, like he looks like he can hang. He looks the part in terms of. I don't think he's going to get bullied. So I would like to see more of him.
He doesn't look the most clean or the most gracious, but he was able to hold it, spin, play a pass out wide, and spin behind, which Højlund has done like maybe successfully 3 times all season.
And I was going to say it's crazy. He done more in that cameo than I've seen Højlund do for like the past 15 games, bro.
He's done that a good few times, man. Like
it's mad.
17 years old, so obviously Carrington finishing school, we're gonna have to polish you up technically, lad, but there's definitely something to work with there.
I would like to see him with like the first teamers to see like, okay, cool, he's playing with Bruno, playing with Ahmad and Casemiro. Let's see how many chances that he can get and what he could do with them. Do you get what I'm saying? Because the chances he's kind of fashioned them himself. So it'll be interesting to see what he does with the actual first teamers.
Agreed. Let's see. That's going to be one for pre-season next season. If we get other transfers in the summer, hopefully gets more regular minutes next season, a bit more integrated into the first team. We're a better side. We can bring him on for 30 minutes in games where we're comfortably ahead, you know? Like, more time he's coming on in a game where we're getting blabbed and we're asking the lad to do a job. It's not the best situation for a young guy to earn the stripes. Cool. Nice one, guys. Oh, not too many listeners' questions, which suggests to me that they usually come from one fan base and they typically come from them when they feel like they're on top of the world.
If anyone didn't send in a question, I don't want him to send a question next 3 weeks.
Nah, he didn't. First one from Branch Singers. Is it possible to say that Caicedo only shows consistent good form when Lavia is around?
No.
I see why he says that, but
so Lavia play for Brighton?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay. Base Nate. Who has been the biggest bottlers this season? Forest top 4 until the last few weeks of the season. Arsenal about to finish 5th in a 2-horse title race. Chelsea from title challenges in December to participants. Ipswich for not dragging United in the relegation scrap.
The last one is funny. I think it's a toss-up between Arsenal and Chelsea because Chelsea were literally 2 points off Liverpool and then ended up in a dogfight with 15 teams for top 4. But Arsenal I think maybe because of the significance of Arsenal coming off 2 title races, one where you literally bottled it, you had like an 8-point lead or something like that, and you bottled it towards the end. Then you had another title race where you were going machine for machine with City, like only dropped points out once, very unlucky not to win the title, to just falling away. Like the title race was done in November, then you start hyping, and then you're like a gazillion points behind them now. Probably Arsenal, because going from a two-horse title race to a top 5 battle is objectively insane.
Listen, I'm telling you, if they don't beat Liverpool next week, it might be spooky. It just might be spooky. Anyway, we'll see.
We will see. We will really see. Cool. And final one is from Afs. Who would Dan Boogs rather chase, City or Liverpool?
What?
The paddle give their starting 11 for 100 footballers versus a gorilla. The starting 11 for that.
Started
Adama Traore.
Traore, yeah. Traore.
Yeah. Van Dijk. I'm putting Van Dijk in there.
Yeah, Van Dijk.
Yeah.
Musa Sissoko.
Yeah.
Who are the Barclays men?
Wanyama.
Onyama. Yep.
Essien.
I need a rational confidence, guys. I need guys with a hot streak in them. Patrick Vieira.
Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just rustling it with his left foot. Just rustling the gorilla with his left foot. Rust it. Like, imagine he's a ball, bro. Just smash him.
Now Ranger, because you might have the burner on him.
I just have to smash it. Who else? This is a good question. I really need to sit.
Akinfenwa for sure.
One-on-one. Akinfenwa, one-on-one.
One-on-one, cuz.
We're watching.
One-on-one, cuz.
Let us know if you want us to jump in, bro.
Yeah, one-on-one. Let's shoot a fair one in the hood.
Who else? Oh, I have to think about that. Gents, it's been a fruitful week. One more. As always.
Hey, Morayo, did you hear the news about Spurs?
Yes, brother.
What happened?
Oh no, Madison, my boy.
He's out to the end of the
He's
season.
out. Oh, you know.
I'm so sad.
You lot are so slimy. Honestly, I can't believe this.
It has nothing to do with us. It has absolutely nothing.
I can't believe it.
You
know how much I enjoy watching Madison play. What a shame.
Yeah.
All right, my boys. Love.
Yo. When I spit bars in a rave, man, I go hard like Santan.